All right, let's wait for the blur. There we go. Okay, come on, Kevin. Get with the program. Some of you may not know, most of you do, I review a lot of Christian movies. Because of that, I often get recommended different types of movies. Hey, you want to see a good Christian movie? Check this one out. And oftentimes, that ends up being a stupid Christian movie. Sometimes, though, it ends up being a movie that's at least trying to break the mold for Christian movies. Ones that I think of, like Believe Me, Resurrection of Gavin Stone, Blue Lake Jazz, Shooting the Prodigal. These are movies that are self-aware. They know that they're a Christian movie. They know that Christian movies can be dumb, and they try to kind of acknowledge that and maybe even subvert it a bit from the perspective of somebody trying to kind of change the genre from the inside. Then you get the other kind of making fun of Christians movies, which are just straight up mean-spirited, which can be fun as well. But no doubt it is an extremely fine line to walk. They do not do very well. Why? Because there's not a built-in audience for Christian movies that make fun of Christian movies. Having said that, recently a movie has come to my attention. It's called Faith-Based. I remember seeing articles passed around about this movie for quite some time, way back when they announced that they were gonna do it. What's funny is, from what I understand, I don't know, I haven't seen the trailer, I've actually been saving it for you guys, you're welcome. It's kind of a bit of an obvious idea. Not to like say that it's a dumb idea, it's just, I've had so many people kind of like tell me, hey, well, you know what would be funny is if there was like this idea, and they'll like kind of present it to me like I could do anything about it, but I get the sentiment. There's so many dumb Christian movies, it would be funny to do a parody Christian movie, exploring and pointing out all the tropes of the genre, because obviously the Christian movie industry is basically the same as any other industry, and I think a lot of people don't realize that or know that, so it would be a funny, interesting topic to explore and make fun of. Done a little bit of that myself. And so has countless other movies like Jesus Bro, Saved, Dogma, the greatest short film of all time, The Simpsons, South Park. Again, it's just a very difficult line to walk. For example, a friend of mine is in a lot of Christian movies, and I believe he either made one or was involved in one, but I remember when he was early on talking about Christian movie, the movie, I threw out some ideas to him. It wasn't like a pitch meeting, we were just talking about it. And a lot of my ideas ended up, he was like, well, I don't know, that would be kind of offensive. So he was even concerned about how offensive he would get in this movie intended to be offensive. And honestly, like, I think that what's endearing about a movie like Resurrection of Gavin Stone is the fact that it does ride the line of being irreverent while still being reverent, like having a place in its heart for Christian media. And I find that I end up having conversations with people who are on either side of that. People who just despise religion and everything that it stands for. And then I get people on the other side. I'm like, yeah, we should do something super self-aware. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to go too far. I almost feel like I don't run into people who kind of are right there where I'm at, right there in the middle between those two types of people. Am I just too nitpicky for this sort of thing? I could go so much deeper and talk about that stuff, this kind of like exploration of the irreverent and the reverent and what does it mean to me culturally and my upbringing and my life. And so all of that out of the way, I'd really like to check out the trailer. Trailer number 1. It's funny because there's a $sign as the S. Already I like this. I made a video called How to Make a Christian Movie. What I'm hoping is this is a movie that kind of addresses some of that stuff, and already it's called Faith-Based, because faith-based is like the new genre term, not new, but you know, it's the market for Christian movies or faith-based movies, because maybe they're not Christian, but they're all Judeo-Christian. Yeah, it's not like Muslim movies fall into this category. Is it? This movie is good. Why is it good? Well, because it's been blessed by God. I mean, look at how much money it's made. Clearly, it's been blessed. And then, like, these other movies that don't do very well, and I'm like, well, this didn't do very well. And they're like, yeah, but what if one person is saved? Then it was all worth it. It doesn't matter how much money it makes. If money equals blessings, then the Transformers movies are extremely blessed. And why? I'm saying a lot. I do this a lot. Let's check out the trailer and see what it looks like.
The only thing standing between you and your dreams is you and your dreams.
I knew he was going to say that. Ha! It's good to see Jason Alexander. I hope that this is a sign that this movie is elevated, a next tier, and not a sign that Jason Alexander is... Nah, he's doing Christian movies now. I like it so far. That was a funny line. I should have reacted better, but you know what? Nothing but authenticity here.
Luke,
His work in pool sanitation, Lord, it is really something.
Tanner, it's time for us to do something with our lives.
Not a big name.
Time to go to church.
The attendance at the church has been slowly declining. We need 75 grand just to make the rest of the year's rent.
Okay, I got an idea.
We need $75,000 just to make the year's rent. If your church needs that much and can't afford that much, then maybe it needs to move to a smaller church. We need to pay for this giant building that clearly we don't need if we can't afford it. So far, this has so much packed into it. Elevate Church. We've got this like all-American family learning to ride a bike. This Rambo parody. It's time to go to church.
Time to go to church.
Paintball.
Faith-based. The entire genre is a goldmine.
Christ flicks. These are funny. I like these posters. Jesus plows. I mean, I'm gonna assume Jesus Plows is a parody of Princess Cut. Escape, the cross, higher purpose. It's like fireproof.
I want to make the best Christian movie Jesus has ever seen. It's time to show my dad what we can do. Dude, it seems like a lot of work. Nikki Steele says,
You work hard, you play hard. You work harder, you play harder. You work hardest, you play rock hard.
That's naughty.
For these movies to make money, you need some keywords in the title. Purpose, faith, prayer, heaven.
You know, Thoughts and Prayers, the movie. Prayer and Prejudice. Faith and Furious.
No, they're serious.
You gotta talk about God. Doesn't have to be God. You can talk about a higher power.
so then it's like, the spaceship lands perfectly on Mars.
Action Space Monster.
I love that. Oh man, yeah. There's like two different types. There's like the in your face, Jesus Christ, okay? Those are usually the ones funded by a church or an extremely involved investor. And then there's the like vague, we're fine, everything's fine. Anybody could watch this and really get something out of it. Spiritual movies, typically funded by a major studio's faith-based division. As sincere as the Book of Mormon. Whoa, high praise. I wonder if that's because it really is or because this is completely ripping off a South Park episode.
Why do all these Christian movies have to be bad?
They don't have to be bad. They just don't have to be good.
Christian movies are a great way to impact the world. And they're also very lucrative.
What do you two even know about making a movie?
Well. I actually was not expecting to like this. I was expecting to be able to make fun of it quite a bit, but I find myself connecting in a way that I wasn't expecting. Thanks a lot. I mean, some of the things that I guess I could say that I would be concerned about is if, like, the main characters, it said somewhere in there, the Bill and Ted of something. Bill and Ted movies are great, but they're not great because of the main characters. Like, the main characters work within that movie. So I would hope that we don't just have stupid characters. Like, as we see from Dude, Where's My Car, sometimes those types of characters that are just dumb can be a little frustrating to watch. And I find Dude, Where's My Car to be a frustrating movie. To be honest with you, I'm sorry. I hope that it's an endearing homage to Christian movies while also pointing out a lot of the frustrations and flaws. As far as I can see, this looks actually pretty great. I'm looking forward to it. I like the cast. A lot of great people in this movie, so I'm looking forward to it. If you want to know more about it, I'm going to interview the writer/main actor, Luke Barnett, on my podcast coming up. Just search Say Goodnight Kevin in whatever podcast place you like, or it's on my website, saygoodnightkevin.com/podcast, and subscribe to that so when that interview does come out, you're going to be able to hear it, and then you'll get to know more, as I will, about the movie. Let's see, is there anything about this that I think I won't like? Just to give him some fodder to talk about, and that way when he comes on my podcast, he can have something, he can have some sort of grudge. That opens up a lot of interesting dialogue if there's something that they hate about me when they come on my podcast. If that sounds interesting to you, check it out. Maybe if you guys have some questions or concerns, write in. Leave it in the comments below or at me on Twitter and put hashtag faith-based, and then I will ask him some of your questions when I have him on. All right, that's all I've got to say for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I will talk to you all later. Good night. Homeschooled and I'm out, grew the fit. Might be just a Carolina kid, but
nobody's bull.